Alrighty, we've got a 4v4 action. It's myself, teamed up with another Pro Tour champion, Tom Martell, Timrod, one of the founders of the draft server actually, and Luca Brazzi, battling against a squad led by Sandy Dog and Sam Rolfe, alongside Chef Slade and Adam, who can't say I'm too acquainted with the latter two, but Sam and Sandy Dog are both fearsome competitors, so this will be quite the battle. We are, of course, using the Magic Online Cube, and not loving the first pick here. Prismatic Vista is a good land. It's actually one of the best in the cube because it's a 5-color land that all it asks is you play basics of all the types you want, which, you know, in some decks actually does come up where it's like, I don't really want to put a mountain in this, white, green, blue deck to get for my 1 red card, but pick one, pack one. This is super safe. The next best card is like Leovold. Yeah, and I don't think you're supposed, or Chrome Mox actually is probably the next best card, but I still think Prismatic Vista is better than Chrome Mox. There's times when I would take a Chrome Mox over a Prismatic Vista, but it's not pick one, pack one. Probably just take another fetch land here. Arid Mesa. There's Miscalculation, Dismember, and Birds of Paradise. Those are all solid. Nissa's a 5-mana card. I don't think you're supposed to take one right here. I do love Recurring Nightmare. But starting with Prismatic Vista, Arid Mesa, we could just go in any direction, and while Dismember is also colorless, I think a good fixer is worth a lot here. And Birds is good, and so is Miscalc, but these are the kind of cards I kind of want to take once I have a better idea of where I'm going. Well, there's a Force of Negation here, but there's also a Wooded Foothills. So here's the thing. How crazy would it be to take a 3rd fetch? And 2 of the fetches are red, which is nice because that overlaps nicely. I'm getting passed to by Sandy Dog, who at this point hasn't passed any red cards, so he might be playing red, but that's okay. There are a couple white cards in this pack. There's also Ponder, which is a good card, but you know what? I'm just going to take Wooded Foothills, and we'll see where we go. Well, this pack is just all mediocre cards. Is kind of the problem. I could take Elite Spellbinder. It's a solid card. Paulo Vitor Damarosa. A little early to take Mishra's Workshop. Same with Crop Rotation. Could also take Ledger Shredder. Ledger Shredder is a pretty good one. Passed a couple blue cards, so now is not a bad time to just cut blue. I mean, straight up, like if this was pick one, pack one, I guess, terrible pick. But I would be more inclined to take Ledger Shredder than anything else here. And I think that holds true. I could also take Sensei's Divining Top. I have 3 fetches. My problem with taking Top is it's kind of a card that doesn't do anything. On the other hand, there's a Trinket Mage here that I might wheel, because this pack's all mid-level cards. All right, I'm actually kind of intrigued by that. And this pack has Cruel Ultimatum. That's a funny one. Chrome Host Seed Shark. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you incubate X. That's kind of cool. Not really in a Guy's Cradle mode here. There's also Utopia Sprawl, which is a pretty strong fixer. It just asks you to play a lot of forests. And Thieving Skydiver. So another mediocre pack of cards, but I'm kind of interested in this Utopia Sprawl. It provides mana for top. Fetches are at their best in green, and I think that Utopia Sprawl is the direction I want to go. So the reason I say fetches are best in green is because green has like a lands theme where you have like Oracle of Moldiah, Augur of Autumn, Courser, Exploration, Fast, Bond, Life from the Loam, Crucible slots in nicely, Ramanop Excavator, so a lot of support there. Here I might just take Sakura Tribe Elder. There's also Xander's Lounge, which would be fetchable by those 2 lands. But given that I just took Utopia Sprawl, I think I'm more inclined to take Tribe Elder. Flash is a cool one. You can put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, but then unless you pay its cost -2, you immediately sacrifice it. It basically gets you the ETB and death triggers of creatures. I think I'll take Tribe Elder. I like Tribe Elder. Okay, this pack has a Vindicate, which I kind of like. There's also Time Warp, but we're not looking super Time Warpy at the moment. I'm not going to take Thalia, though. I think it's even more likely now that Sandy's playing mono red, given there's a Thalia there. Sandy could also just be playing a blue deck. Who knows? Mishra's Bauble is actually pretty cute, though, with 3 fetches and a Sakura Tribe Elder. This is actually going to be 0-mana Scry 1 draw card. That's pretty good. Let's just take the Bauble here. Now I think it's between Cryptic Command, Steam Vents, and Pestermite. I don't want to take a Talisman here. I have two accelerants already in Sprawl and Sakura Tribelder, and those are both better than Talismans. Cryptic actually wouldn't be crazy, but I'm kind of thinking I just take Steam Vents to go with these two fetches, because now they add all the colors I need. Oh, Life from the Loam is unfortunately the weakest of the land replaying abilities. Godless Shrine would make Arid Mesa into black, but I don't think that's the direction I'm going. Solemn is okay, but not fantastic. I guess I could Loam here. With 3 fetch lands, it's not terrible. Inspired Ultimatum. If I get it, I think you have to take the Dream Halls first and then take the ultimatums. All right, let's just take Life from the Loam. Maybe we're just lands gamers now. All right, let's put all the fetches here. Bird's Wield? All right, we're slamming that. That's just a great sign. I thought this was one of the best cards the first time I saw this pack. Okay. Well, we don't have any action yet, but look, I've got 2 good 1-drop accelerants, a 2-drop accelerant, 3 fetches, Loam, and then Top and Bobble to fix my mana, or to fix my draws, to give me good selection. And then, of course, Steam Vents for these fetches. We could just play any card we want. We're perfectly set up. It's time to draft the good cards. Here, I'm not going to take Spectral Procession or Razor Verge Thicket. I don't think I take Third Path. It's basically, do I want Recruiter of the Guard or Voice of Resurgence? And they're both good cards. I like them both. It's actually pretty close. I think I take Voice to start with. I just like how cheap Voice is, and there's some matchups that it's so good. So it's, 2 mana 2/2. When your opponent casts a spell during your turn, you get an XX, where X is the number of creatures you have in play, or when it dies. So against a red deck or a black deck, it's a 2/2 that dies into a 2/2/3/3. That's pretty good. Against a blue deck, it hoses their ability to cast counters. Here, as much as I like Escape to the Wilds in a ramp deck, I'm kind of thinking crop rotation. I'm so well set up for the lands deck that right now the rotation isn't in the rotation, but with Life from the Loam and all these fetches, if I pick up a Strip Mine, if I can get a Wasteland or lands like the Thespian Stage, Dark Depths combo, all that would be excellent. All right, now it's easy Temple Garden here. All right, my fixing's great. I'll take a flash because I guess I could see flashing something in. All right, well, we need a direction here, but we have really good mana, and green was fairly open. All right, what do we got here? Oh, Ren and 6? Yeah, we just take Ren and 6 here. Look, there's some good cards. There's Counterspell, there's Lightning Bolt. Retrofitter Foundry is not going to table, sadly, but Ren and 6 is so perfect in this deck. I have 3 fetches already. Well, Ren and 6 table. Okay, that's the new question. Hold on, let me see. So let's see. If Ren and 6 wasn't in the pack, what would I take? Honestly, I'm not terribly set up to cast Counterspell, but I could also just see probably Lightning Bolt is the pick here. So if I take Bolt, what's going to get taken? Counterspell, definitely. Scrubland, definitely. Retrofitter Foundry, Sandy's probably taking this Fire Blast. Zeator's Proving Ground, Exhume, Esper Sentinel. Basically, do I want 100% of a Lightning Bolt, because I'm picking it, plus some percentage of a Ren and 6, say 70%? Or do I just want to take Ren and 6 and probably wheel something that's not that exciting for me? I think I'm just going to take the Ren and 6. Maybe that's cowardly, but especially with this crop rotation, it feels like that's the way to go. All right, well, I'm going to take Oko now. Oko's a busted card. Passing up on not much. Passing Sandy a Hellrider here. There's a Mizzix Mastery for whoever got all those ultimatums, if you could discard an ultimatum and mastery it, but we'll take an Oko. We've got the Steam Vents. The Steam Vents pick looking pretty good now. Also, our mana's really good for non-black. Having a blue-red and a green-white duel with these 2 fetches, both of which get both, means 4-color not black, like Omnath colors are working really nicely here. Here I probably just take Reprieve. I don't need to take the Taiga. Oh, there's that Dream Halls for all those ultimatums. There's also Baleful Strix and Lingering Souls, which are both decent, but Reprieve's looking pretty good here. So I think I'd rather just take that. this flash is making me, that it's kind of hidden in my sideboard, making me consider if there's like an Atroxa. I mean, I guess there was that Woodfall Primus. Okay. So this pack has Skull Clamp, which I like, Ignoble Hierarch, which I like, Sail into the West, which is 2 blue-green, instant. Each player can choose to discard their hand to draw 7. A Dark Depths, which I'm going to hope to table, though there's a Hex Mage too. And I think I just take Parallax Wave. I do love Skull Clamp, but Parallax Wave is just kind of a broken card. And I have Renin 6 and Oko for like kind of value engines. I don't think I'll wheel Ignoble Hierarch, but I'm going to take Parallax Wave here. Oh, nice. There's a Solitude. Solitude works nicely with Parallax Wave. It's just a great card too. Let's put these lands back here. There's also a Crucible of Worlds, which I don't really need because I have Ren and Loam. And there's an Atroxa, which is not going to come back, but it's okay. I'll take Solitude here. Okay, I'm liking where we're at. We've got some good ramp. Got some good cards. Here, there's Elder Gargaroth, Rex Sage, and Knight of Autumn. And some black cards I don't care about. I think I'd rather have Knight of Autumn over Rex Sage because mana-wise, they're both close enough. I'm going to be able to cast both, and this is just better, so that's easy. The question is, do I want Elder Gargaroth? No, I think Knight of Autumn is a better early pick than Gargaroth. Gargaroth also wheels a good amount of the time. Knight of Autumn is nice with Parallax Wave. You can pitch it to cast Solitude. All right, this crop rotation not in the mix yet. Oh, and also with the Skull Clamp pick, I have Sensei's Top, which is not the same thing, but it is something. Oh, Noble Hierarch, easy Noble. Noble's great. Passing up on an Expressive Iteration, some combo cards like Frantic Search, Mana Flare, a bunch of random black cards. But 7th pick Noble, I mean, I like these style of decks. I'm looking for a little more meat. We have Oko and Solitude and Parallax Wave. The card I would like to open most is Strip Mine is probably it with Renin 6 and Loam and crop rotation. I would really like to wheel that Dark Depths. I'm going to see if hopefully I can make that happen. Oh, and here's a Knight of the Reliquary. I like Knight of the Reliquary when you have 3 fetches already, so it's just going to be kind of large to begin with. I'm playing a land strategy. I don't need Indotha Triumph. Don't want to cast Skull. I'd rather just stick to 4 colors. And I think Field of the Dead is just too slow. Ephemerate's cute with Solitude, but I don't really need it. And Knight's looking really good here. Oh, Retrofitter Foundry wheeled. Sadly, I know I'm not going to get Gaia's Cradle anymore. It would be good in this deck. I'm kind of into Retrofitter Foundry. It's the kind of thing. I mean, I don't have the Skull Clamp, sadly. There's also Italy as just like, do I want to try to ramp to a 7-drop? No, there's other 7-drops I could take. Seems like a pretty decent Nissa here. Passing a Mind Collapse, which is a deal 5 to a creature or Planeswalker, and a Mizzix Mastery. We're obviously not in the market for that. Nissa's a solid thing to ramp into. See, that's a 7-drop that's also a 5-drop. All right, so Lingering Souls tabled. So did Bayou and Overgrown Tomb. Ophiomancer. I mean, I don't think Lingering Souls is like amazing in this deck because I'm not really using it anyway. Maybe I just take Bayou in case I want to play 5 colors. I think I'd rather just take the Bayou. Oh, so the Depths didn't table. That is a real shame. Do I want a draw 7? I don't really think this is a draw 7 deck. On the other hand, a Leyline Binding that is going to frequently cost 1 mana or 2 mana seems decent. So I think I'll do that. All right, I'll take the Crucible now. It's fine. We don't need any of the other cards. A Blooming Marsh isn't that interesting. Tameo gets to return a card from my graveyard to my hand. Yeah, whatever. Maybe I'll take Tameo. I don't think I care about missing out on Blooming Marsh. All right. Strip Mine would be nice. I'm sad I didn't get the Depths. Urza Saga would be a really strong open as well, given I have a couple ways to fetch it. But, of course, Strip Mine would be the nuts. What else are we looking for? Mox Diamond's not bad. Oh, I really want Titania in this deck, but I think it'll wheel, and I think Mox Diamond to speed up the deck is going to be great, especially since there's like Eternal Witness, Sylvan Library, Titania, or Questing Beast. Like, if I get one of those back, I'm happy. Shipping Inferno Titan Fiery Confluence. Yeah, that's fine. Mox Diamond. There's Oracle of Moldiah, which is good with Crucible and Renin 6. At this point, the Loam is not making the cut. Flash does not work with Grisserbrand. You don't have priority to activate it. You can flash in Wormcoil to get 2 3/3s. Don't need the Raugrin Triumph. So it's basically Oracle versus Skyclave. I mean, Skyclave is a great card, and I have a Parallax Wave, but this does look like a pretty good Oracle deck. All right, you know what? I've been kind of disappointed with Oracle lately. Let's take Oracle and give it one more chance. I could still get a 3rd pick Strip Mine, right? I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see. Oracle does give me more mana for things like Retrofitter Foundry, which is cool. Getting to play it with like Crucible or Renin 6 as a way to just like turbo out your lands is nice. Oh, there's a Wasteland? All right, we'll take Wasteland. It's not as good as Strip Mine by a long shot, but still pretty good. And Omnath has a decent chance of wheeling, would be fantastic in this deck. Especially since there's like Treachery, Subtlety, a couple other cards. But yeah, we're easily taking Wasteland here. I could get a 4th pick Strip Mine, right? I could use another high-end card or two. Like another 4 or 5 mana card, because I have the Mox, Sprawl, so I have 3 1-drop accelerants, a 2-drop accelerant, and a Mox. That's a good amount. This deck's going to have high velocity. Some turn 2 Okos would be nice. And I can take cards of any color thanks to this Bayou, Prismatic Vista. I think my mana would be pretty good. It is a beating that I didn't get the depths back, but I don't think I was in a position to take it that early. So I have for removal, I have Solitude, Leyline Binding, Parallax Wave, Oko. I have Night of Autumn as well. I mean, Sensei's Top's also good with Oracle. Yeah, this looks like a decent Oracle. There's a Strip Mine? 4th pick Strip Mine? I'm just blessed. All right, no complaints here. Wow, slamming Strip Mine. Sorry, Windswept Heath, Hex Drinker, Thraben Inspector, whatever. Who cares? We just drafted the Strip Mine deck. All right, am I back in? I mean, we're so back. Crop rotation back in. Do I want Life from the Loam? Probably at this point, because I have basically 2 Strip Mines plus a Wasteland. You know, thanks to crop rotation, and then I have Loam, Renin 6, and Crucible all to just kind of get there. Here there's Time Twister, but this isn't really a Time Twister deck. That's not how these decks want to play out. There's Crater Hoof, which you can actually flash in Crater Hoof to get the trigger, though it won't count itself, so that's kind of a weird overrun. There's also just taking Tropical Island because I have a blue card and it would make my mana better. I mean, I think I'd just take Crater Hoof. Like, the way I see it is I have a lot of ramp, and also Crater Hoof rewards me for just playing land after land with Crucibles and stuff. Okay, so what does Sigarda do again? Makes your other permanents hexproof, and you cast Angels and Humans from the top of your deck. So I have 1 human, 2 humans in my deck. Okay. I don't really need Rafine's Tower. I might just take Sylvan Caryatid, though. I don't really need it that much. It is one of the better ramp cards. There's also Deep Forest Hermit as just 5 mana, make a 1/1 plus 4 2/2s. I mean, maybe I want that over another ramp spell. That doesn't sound crazy, especially with Crater Hoof in the deck and Parallax Wave. No, Caryatid's so much better. Let's just take the Caryatid. Oh, now... Okay, we get something good here. I don't... Man, so there's... I was going to say, I don't think it's Urza, but Urza with Retrofitter just pops off. I would have also definitely played Uro in this deck. I think the mana would fit it nicely. Bayou's not making it. But there's also Teferi, which is a great card to ramp into. But I think it's actually Urza thanks to Retrofitter. It seems like Urza can really pop off here. And last one is Exploration. Do I want... Oh man, it's a shame this isn't going to wheel because no one else will want it. But I'm looking at this Sun Titan and I'm thinking one more piece of high end could be nice. Not a Birthing Pod deck. So it's basically, do I want Sun Titan? I could take Factor Fiction. I could just take Exploration, though. This actually does look like an Exploration deck. All right, and then I wield Titania. Perfect. I like Questing Beast a lot. Kogla's the worst of these three, but Titania is so good in this deck. All right, easy Titania. Now, do I want Raugrin Triome? I might wield that Omnath, remember? I'm not going to play Fire Covenant or Rampaging Raptor. I don't think I'm going to play Scarab God. I could play it off this Bayou, but let's just take the Raugrin Triome. Omnath wield, so perfect. Sorry, Stomping Ground or Soul Herder. Oh, and then Thraben Inspector wield? Yeah, I will probably still just play it. I don't know. If I need to make a cut, Thraben Inspector is probably going to be it, but I think it's the best card left there. So do I want Elspeth or do I want Thrun? 5 mana, 5/5, can't be countered, trample. Can't be targeted, and as long as it's your turn, it's indestructible. All right, there's some matchups where I might Thrun. I'm not going to play Talisman, but I guess I'm not really going to play Sigarda either. I think I'll just hate the Talisman. Sigarda just seems like a really bad card. All right, I swear it's not the only thing I do in this cube is play lands, but here I am. Here we are again, playing lands with Strip Mine. Strip Mine and Wasteland. We just kind of have it all. We're missing balance this time compared to the other video, but which you should watch. That one was a good one too. Lands V3. All right. Let's get in there. Lands V3. Let's see. What are we missing in this deck? Really not much. Like, I need to cut some cards, but I think that's okay. Okay, so I might just cut the Crater Hoof. Like, it's fine. I'll have to get a Thrun at some point. And Bayou is not making the cut. I don't think it does anything for me. Oh, no, Bayou actually is making the cut because it makes my Leyline Binding cheaper at no cost. I'm even the one with the Wasteland. All right, Thraben Inspector, as promised, does have to go. I honestly think Sakura Tribe-Elder is going to have to go because it's worse than Sylvan Caryatid. And I might run out of lands in my deck. All right, so this is 35. I mean, I kind of like all these cards. I might just side in the Voice of Resurgence in matchups where it's appropriate to do so. And because this is now 50, I want to play like 17 lands. So let's just add basics. So I have Wasteland and Strip Mine here. Oh, basic land. No, basic lands. And then this Nissa is probably going to have to go, to be honest. So I have Prismatic Vista. I guess I might as well switch to Vista now. So let's see. Right now, if I play 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green sources, maybe a 10th green source would be nice. And then one each of the rest of the lands, because that means Prismatic Vista gets all the colors. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red. That's plenty for 2 red cards. Not even counting the Birds, Noble, Utopia Sprawl, though I guess Noble doesn't fix red. And Sylvan Caryatid. Blue, I have, I might want a second island. Blue, because I have Urza as a double blue card. I have 3 blue cards. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then white, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I have room for one more source here. And I think it's going to be white because I have all these double white cards. So I could run into a spot where I have Island Prismatic Vista and I can't cast Urza with this setup. But I feel like I'm still in pretty good shape. Nissa is probably going to have to go. And one more has to go. I just want to play a lot of lands because I have Oracle and Crucible and Wrenn and 6. It's not crazy to consider cutting one of the accelerants. Maybe Utopia Sprawl and keep Noble and Birds and Caryatid. Yeah, I could see doing that. I have all the land destruction. I guess Vindicate still gets me. Yeah. Basically, because now I just don't want to have so many mana sources, because right now I have 17 lands, plus a Mox Diamond is 18, plus Noble, Exploration, Crop Rotation, Birds, Sylvan Caryatid, Loam, Wrenn and 6, Crucible. It's like so many cards dedicated to mana. I think I want to cut one. Okay. I actually think this deck is great. Because look, against creatures I have Leyline Binding, Solitude, Parallax Wave, and then Omnath is also pretty good against creatures. And against non-creatures I have like Night of Autumn, Reprieve, Binding still can play, and then Strip Mine and Wasteland to slow them down. I mean, this deck's going to be a little soft against combo, I think, but still seems pretty good otherwise, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. All right, let's get to it. Alrighty, starting off with the feature match round 1, and by that I mean playing against Sandy Dog. I would like to play first, and yeah, I'm going to keep this hand. So this hand's interesting. It has Wrenn and 6 and Bobble. I think I'm going to lead with bobbling myself and seeing what my top card is. Sensei's Top. Because the problem is I can't cast Wrenn and 6 unless I crop rotate. But I really don't want to crop rotate for anything but Strip Mine. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pass, draw my Sensei's Top, and hope that I draw a red source, like a fetch land ideally, on turn 2. And if I don't, then maybe I crop rotate the forest away for a fetch land and, you know, fetch for that. Well, now I'm kind of forced to, actually. That's fine. I can live with that. Crop rotate, sack this. I think Wooded Foothills. No, Arid Mesa is the best. Yeah. Let's go Arid Mesa. Just gonna get Mountain here. Wrenn 6 and Nug Usher. And then if Wrenn and 6 lives, which I hope it does, hopefully Sandy doesn't have a burn spell or a haste creature, then I can start hitting land drops with Wrenn and 6. So it goes. Okay, well I have Sensei's Top and Urza. What a beating. All right, well let's look at the top 3. Okay, so let's go draw Wasteland, and I think I actually passed the turn here. I didn't have another play. Yeah, the reason I'm going to pass the turn is because next turn I'm going to draw top. I'm going to tap top to draw a card, and then I'm going to get back my, well, I don't care about that very much. My hand's all 4 drops that are all fine. I'm going to get back, I'm going to play top, tap it to draw Loam, Loam back Mesa and Forest, and then from there I can start casting spells. It feels like if I Wasteland, I'm kind of taking too many turns off, and Parallax Wave is going to go a long way to clean things up. That being said, I'm getting Spellbinder now, so the Parallax Wave isn't going to come out super fast, but I also have Oracle of Moldiah. Oh, well, had Oracle of Moldiah. Sensei's Top. Draw a card. Loam, Arid Mesa, Forest. And I don't really care about the Sensei's Top, so I'm going to play Arid Mesa, and I think I'm going to get Raugrin Triumph with that, and then next turn I'll just dredge life from the Loam and play Parallax Wave and hopefully prevent Sandy from doing too much. Oh, City of Traders, jeez, okay. Hopefully this is I was really hoping there'd be Showdown of the Scalds. That I don't mind too much. Would you hit Ragavan, Stoneforge, Mystic, and lands? Okay, so you go Ragavan this turn probably. We'll see. So do I dredge loam is kind of the question. Depends on, oh, he had Mox Ruby too? All right. That makes this a little bit less enticing. Dang, Mox Ruby plus City of Traders. You go, Sandy. All right, so what are we going to get with Stoneforge? So that will also change my play next turn. Andoril, Flame of the West. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get Raugrin Triumph here. So now Leyline Binding costs 2 mana. I guess I draw Loam, and then I have Leyline Binding for 2 mana, and I can Wasteland. Yeah, all right, let's dredge Loam. Would have drawn Caryatid otherwise, sure. And I hit Bayou. Oh, Bayou's nice because it makes Leyline Binding cost 1 mana, if I care about that. All right, let's get back Arid Mesa and Bayou. Oh, you know what? If I'm going to Wasteland, I guess, sure, I'll Wasteland the Inspiring Vantage. Loan back these 3. And I don't want to Wasteland the City of Traders. I think I'm just going to play the Bayou and then pass the turn. And then whatever, I mean, he knows about the Leyline Binding, which is obviously not ideal, but I can Parallax Wave bet whatever gets the sword. So we're dashing Ragavan. That's fine too. Putting a counter on the Elite Spellbinder, I would imagine. Though maybe the Stoneforge. Could be either one. That Mox Ruby made that whole turn a lot better. But I don't hate where I'm at here. All right, so that gets the counter. Ragavan's dashed. 1 floating. Play a land. Okay. Are we going to Stoneforge in Anduril? Yeah. You're going to equip. Sure. Okay. And then I'm going to play Leyline Binding for 1 mana. Leyline Binding the Ragavan. Take 4 down to 11. Okay. This is not terrible. And now I'm not going to dredge Loam. Knight of the Reliquary. I think I just play land Parallax Wave here and pass the turn. Next turn I can sack Arid Mesa so I can get Steam Vents, and I could use that to cast this Urza. Could also cast Oracle for 6 mana and then play Knight of the Reliquary at some point. I don't know. We'll see kind of what Sandy's up to here for equipping that. Sure. Okay, and Magda. Put a +1/+1 counter on Elite Spellbinder. Okay. Land. Parallax Wave the Elite Spellbinder. Parallax Wave the Stoneforge Mystic. And turn, crack this, get Steam Vents. Don't think I want to dredge Loam here. Knight of Autumn. Oh, that's pretty nice. I have white. Yeah, I have green. I can play this, so I can go Knight of Autumn, white, green. Oh, I could play, do I want to play Knight of the Reliquary or Urza? Actually, I think I will play Knight of the Reliquary. That actually sounds better. Do this. Destroy Andoril, Flame of the West, Knight of the Reliquary. And Knight of the Reliquary is just a 3/3, but if Knight of the Reliquary lives here, then I get to get Strip Mine and start going after Sandy's lands. No attacks, nothing? Okay. Fade that. I actually think I will dredge this time. I hit birds. Oh, I even hit the strip mine, which actually makes it worse because I can't double strip mine this turn, but I think that's okay because I'll go get those 3 back. Strip mine your mountain, play Urza, and I don't really have any special lands to get, but I'm going to use Knight of the Reliquary, so I'm just going to attack with the Knight and then pass the turn here, and then next turn, oh, you're blocking? Yeah, sure, I buy that. And next turn, I guess do I dredge loam? Kind of not sure. Okay, mountain. You get to play a double red card this turn. Now that he's got a second mountain, I'm kind of more interested. Palace Jailer, okay. What are we jailing? Construct token? It's just a 1/1. Knight of the Reliquary? Urza? Oh, Knight of the Reliquary. Sack this. Wait, I'll just get a forest. So in my deck, I have Oko, Omnath, Retrofitter Foundry, Solitude, Titania. I kind of think I don't dredge loam this turn. Parallax Wave is fading fast here because I have Oracle to play this turn. I think I attack. Oh, let's go Wasteland, play Oracle. See if there's a land on top here. I want to do this while Reprieve is still up. Oh, Omnath, nice. All right, play Prismatic Vista. Attack with these 2. He gets to eat the token, but I get Knight of the Reliquary back, which is nice. I'm not actually going to be able to strip mine that many more times this game. Oh, so you did have the path. Yeah, that's why. So I did it this way. It's an arid mesa, so let's just get island here. Reprieve that. Oh, funnily enough, it was still Omnath on top. All right, and then pass the turn. I'm not going to be able to dredge loam here because I'm going to run out of cards. What I want to find is a Titania. So you can path the Knight. I'm actually going to be okay. Skull Clamp. Equip Skull Clamp on Jailer. All right, I guess I'll let you re-monarch here. I'll go to 6 because the next turn I'm going to gain some life. And you have 2 cards left, Sandy. 1 card left. Yeah, at this point I'm not really looking to do too much strip mining. All right, Stoneforge hopefully doesn't have a 3rd target to go get. Elite Spellbinder is going to get my Omnath. That I don't mind. I left a land on top instead of searching with Path because I'm actually worried about A, running out of cards, and B, I want to hit my land drops for Omnath, and I don't have tons of land left in my deck, and I can't really dredge loam. Okay, Sandy did not get what's it called? A card with Stoneforge. All right. Play Omnath. Draw land. There's Oko? Okay. Well, I'm probably not going to Oko this turn because I'm going to go... well, actually, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go land because of Oracle. Now I have 5 mana. Now I'm just going to shuffle with Urza. Exile the land. My top card's a land. Play Noble. And attack with these 2. So if I attack with both, Stoneforge blocks Urza, these trade. No, let's just attack with Urza and force a chump here. This ended up being a pretty wild game. All right, dog. All right, force a chump past the turn. I'm at 10 now. I'm going to take 3 in the air down to 7. And I'm going to start to do some good Urza-ing the next couple turns. How many lands do I have left to fetch is kind of the question, too. I don't have many. Let's see. I have one forest left, I think, and 1 plains left. Well, the good thing is playing the fetch land still triggers Omnath, even if they have nothing to fetch, and they still have something to fetch. Are we caching it? We're not even caching in the Elite Spellbinder. Okay. Draw. Titania is what I'm really looking for here. Oh, Sensei's top. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and Urza here. Hit land. A Retrofitter is nice, but let's still just go ahead and Urza. I just have some good things I could hit here. Exploration. Okay. Exploration. Land. Land. Spin with Urza again. Oh, I hit Sensei's top? Okay. Sensei's top. And do I want to play this land? It'll deal 4. I don't really want to deal 4 here. Because I think attacking... Let's see. So Sandy either chumps and draws 2. Do I even really want to be the Monarch? I mean, I guess I want to set up a turn. I think I just want to set up a turn where I Titania back a bunch of creatures. I'm not taking enough damage here to die. Wild game. I'm going through like all of my cards. It's a shame that the Crucible got milled here. That actually would have been a pretty good one. Uh-oh. Expensive cards are bad. I'm a little scared now. I don't think I'm going to fetch anything with these fetch lands. I think I'm going to keep them around to sacrifice to Titania to get the 5/3s. Oh, is this like a Fiery Confluence? That would do a lot of damage to me. I guess in a pinch I still have 1 forest to get. Is that true? Wait, no, I don't. A forest got exiled. Do I have a mountain to get? No. Wait, do I have anything to get with this Wooded Foothills? I guess I don't. Hellrider, okay. Scary. Yeah, I mean, go for it, I guess. Sandy doesn't know that I can't fetch with that though. So there is that. Sideboarding will be interesting because I look at my sideboard. I think Voice of Resurgence, Thrun, both look pretty good. We'll see. Okay. So I'm getting Hellrider down to 7. Kari Zev's coming in. I'm going to 2 based on... let's just make the blocks that make sense, I guess. It says Menace. So I can't really prevent that from killing me. So I think I do this and I take 5 going to 2. There's no other way to do it. All right. I die to a burn spell, I guess. Let's go ahead and spin top. Oko, Retrofitter. I'm going to ultimately want both, so I guess it kind of doesn't matter. Assuming I even survive this turn. Okay. Go to 2 here. And now Sandy maybe goes digging for... Yeah, he's going to Skull Clamp Boy. The Palace Jailer digging for burn here, so... I don't like it. I really don't. So I'm going to side out life from the loam, which will prevent this kind of situation from happening again, I think, where I kind of run out of cards, because if I didn't mill Crucible, I would be able to just replay lands. Thalia, sure. I'm not very close to winning this game. On this turn, rather, but yeah, it's all hope is not lost. So I'm drawing Oko. Let's go Arid Mesa, gain 4 life, spin Urza, I think. Actually, maybe I want to draw with top first. If I draw with top, I could also spin with top. Let's actually spin top. Solitude. So I have these 4 cards plus Titania as my last card. Okay. Let's just draw Oko. Not using that. Urza. Oh, actually, I don't want to tap the Wasteland. Hit Mox Diamond, sure. Why can't I cast the Mox Diamond? Oh, it's my library. I hit Solitude. I got confused. Okay, hitting Solitude's a lot better. Wow, very nice. Okay, so let's go Retrofitter Foundry. I guess I'm not titaniating this turn. Oh yeah, that costs 2 because of... Oh, maybe I just play Oko then. I don't care about... Or maybe I Solitude the Thalia? No, I really do want to Solitude the Elite Spellbinder, so I think I go... Oko. +2, make a food. Play Solitude. Solitude the Spellbinder. All right. And this is like basically 4 attackers. Let's just pass the turn here. Sandy thinks he might be able to deck me, but I don't think that's necessarily true. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Because what I do want to do... Oh, what is this? This could be bad. Elspeth. Okay. Elspeth's not great. It doesn't kill me, but it's not great, because I also can gain the food life off the food. Oh, I guess I can't gain life because I can't tap it for mana. Oh, I should have just played Retrofitter Foundry then. I'm 1 mana short. Well, oh, this is going to kill me off Thalia. Because my 3 cards left are Mox, Titania, Sensei's Top. Okay. Yeah, Elspeth got me. All right, wild game 1. Let's take out Loam. Let's put in Voice. Let's put in Thrun. I think I still want Urza. I like an Eye of Autumn. I like Leyline Binding. Do I want Nissa as well? Or maybe Nissa's better than Thrun, actually. Nissa blow up Andoril or make like a 5/5. Maybe I cut Sensei's Divining Top just because I don't have time for that against the dog. That game obviously was like winnable in some form or fashion. I really was hoping to hit Titania soon because I just immediately makes 4 5/3s or whatever. But it did end up being like one of the last cards in my deck. Yeah. Was unfortunate. That last turn though, I guess maybe I'm better off instead of spinning Urza and trying to hit Titania, though I think Titania would have been good. Maybe I just play Retrofitter and pass, and then I just have a ton of Retrofitter mana up with Urza. So I go like, make a token, untap, make a flyer. Yeah, that was probably safer. And I'd be at 6. And then I don't play Oko. I don't know. This matchup doesn't feel too bad. I mean, it was a crazy game. I think as long as I could just get a start that involves Mox Diamond, Exploration, Birds, Noble, or Sylvan Carriage. Basically a start, ideally with one of the 0 or 1 mana accelerants, but also with possibly the 2 mana accelerant. And I'll feel pretty good about it. Uh-oh, I did cast Parallax Wave and lose, though. That's not part of the deal. I don't think I need Crater Hoof. I don't think Thraven Inspector is right. It is good against Ragavan, but it's kind of bad against like the rest of the attackers. Need to Parallax Wave my Solitude this time, I think. Yeah, I like Voice just because it's an early blocker that dies into something big. A good 2 mana play. And I have some good 5 mana plays, so I just want to survive to play my 2 mana plays. All right, turn 1 Red and 6 with Mox Diamond. Now I got to mulligan this hand. That hand is just no early plays. Oh my god. Unfortunate. Yeah, I mean a 5-land hand with a 4-drop and a 5-drop into a 1-land hand that is just not functional. Cool. This hand's also even really close to being good. Like if you replace Retrofitter or Nissa with lands, this hand becomes really good. Turn on Exploration, play a land. Now that I'm mulled to 5, my Exploration and Mox Diamonds are just getting so bad. All right. Well, hopefully Sandy mulligans and we don't have too much of a blowout here. I really think this deck has the speed to keep up with his deck, but this mull to 5 game is not going to be representative of that, I wouldn't imagine. I mean, if I mull into 2 lands, red and 6 Mox Diamond, that's already a pretty good hand. So maybe I can peel that. Okay. All right. Yeah, actually, maybe that was the wrong land to keep. I don't know. I feel like I had to keep Oracle, and I think keeping Reprieve is better, but maybe I should have gone Mountain there because of red and 6 specifically. Hope that doesn't come back to bite me. No, I'm just going to Reprieve his turn 1 play. Okay, I don't need an upkeep stop. Okay. All right. Turn 3 Oracle is definitely a decent start here. What do you got? Hopefully not Ragavan. Oh, Cathar Commando. No, Sandy, don't do me like this. I knew he had it. All right. Well, I have Prismatic Vista. So now if I draw a land, I can play Oracle, but getting my Mox Diamond blown up after I mulled to 5. Okay. That's all you play. All right, land. All right, that's a land. I'm just going to get Forest here, which is kind of brutal because I don't have that as many blue sources as green sources, but I got to do this. Come on. I really need this Oracle to live. Showdown. Oh, Palace Jailer. No. Man, everything is just turning up bad. This is brutal. All right. I'm going to draw Voice and strip. Honestly, I think I just stripped the plains because I have Wasteland in my deck and he's got enough red and white sources regardless. So yeah, here's the showdown. Well, everything that could go wrong went wrong this game, basically. You're going to path me. No, you're going to play Figure of Destiny. Draw. I guess I attack to force a trade here. Make a token. Yeah, I'm just dead here. I mean, it's not going to happen. All right, well, I mean, he's going to play Hellrider plus Lightning Bolt this turn. Yeah, who are we kidding? All right. That is unfortunate. Just take a picture of this so my teammates can kind of see some of the cards he's got, but hopefully better next round. All right, disappointing round 1, round 2. Let's go. I think I'm going to mulligan this hand too. Unfortunate. And mulligan this hand too. All right. This is the same hand as before. I guess I'm going to do this. Play Raugrin, Triumph, and pass. I don't think Bird's Parallax Wave 5 lands, none of which can cast Parallax Wave, is a very good draw. And then that was a 1-land hand, so if I just mull to 5 every game, yeah, I'm not going to do a lot of winning. Okay. Any red and 6s? Oh, no, but Knight of Autumn's pretty nice. Let's go. Green, black. Discard Prismatic Vista. And blow up the Talisman here. All right, now lands are good. Any of my land replay abilities are good. And some spells can be okay. No, I'm getting Thieving Skydivered. Oh, man. I'm really not catching a lot of breaks over here. All right, Wrenn and 6. Wrenn and 6 would be a really fantastic draw. No. All right. I get to reprieve their next spell, I guess, and hope to hit something. I mean, I could have not kept Mox Diamond this game, but I just don't think that's right. It just speeds you up by so much. All right. Well, that at least means if I draw a land, I can play Crucible, and then Crucible Oracle can actually get me back into this, but my opponent's got a lot of mana here. All right, I'm going to let Thirst happen. I don't really think it makes sense to counter Thirst when they're probably going to untap and play something a little bigger. Look, I'm not going to win this game. Like, even if I reprieve a spell here, what's my best case scenario? I play a land in a Crucible and then I just don't do anything. It just doesn't really seem that likely. Okay, I will reprieve the Rabble Master. To Omnath, and then Rabble Master still comes down. And then alright, I go to 14. Yeah, alright. Alright, come on, deck. You can do better than this. Thieving Skydiver is going to be good against me. Yeah, that much is true. Do I want Voice of Resurgence? I don't think so. Thrun, Nissa. Nissa could be interesting. No, I think Sensei's Top's actually fine here. All right. I think we're okay the way we are. We just need to have a game where we don't start out down 3 cards or whatever. Well, if only. I just don't think the first 2 hands were keepable. I mean, the first hand was the only one that like you could consider. I don't think it was good, but the second hand was obviously not keepable. All right, what do we got? See, this on the other hand, this is a good hand. This I don't mind at all. Let's go. I get to actually play all 7 cards on turn 1. That's like a... That's a kind of like an achievement unlocked. Because I'm going to go land, exploration, Mox, birds, play second land, top. This is pretty good. Playing all 7 turn 1. Okay. So now, what would I rather have in play? Forest or a plains? I actually think it's probably plains. Let's go Mox, discard forest. Oh no, I need a double green. I guess I'm not playing all 7 turn 1. That's fine. We're gonna go birds. Top. I outthought myself, but it's actually fine. What are we trying to top into? I mean, any expensive card, pretty much. And it is nice to having not played Wasteland on turn 1, so that they play a non-basic on turn 1. Let's go upkeep top. Oh, Ren and 6, I don't mind that. Draw. Wasteland. Play Ren and 6. Wasteland the Volcanic. +1 on Wasteland. Okay. Now they have to play basics, which, you know, is doable, of course. I guess I'll spin in case I find a strip mine here. No, I don't really want Noble. All right, let's just draw Arid Mesa. Arid Mesa, crack it. I'm going to play Exploration. I'm going to spin top. I guess I actually don't want to get Raugrin Triumph because I don't want to end up in a spot where I draw it. I put it in play. I want to. If I draw it, I want to be able to cycle it. Okay. Brainstorm. Fine. I'm going to spin top end of turn here, and look for strip mine or crop rotation would both be pretty good. Wouldn't mind hitting obviously like Oracle or Nissa or Omnath, any of those things either. I mean, this is good. This is what we're trying to do. Oh, that's it. Oh, that was good. I got it. This is not a bad. All right, we're going to game 3. Okay. Yeah, Thrun, Nissa. Yeah, I've got good high end. All right. Let's see if we can keep them off playing their expensive stuff long enough for us to leverage some of these cards. That's my plan. Still not sure if there's something I could be cutting for Nissa. I could cut Loam for Nissa, but this actually seems like a pretty decent Loam matchup. Especially if Wasteland is good. All right, Mox Diamond and Exploration are very high on my list of cards I want in my opening hand. Mox Diamond less so when I mulligan a bunch, but still, it speeds you up. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to mulligan a turn 2 Oko hand. Turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Oko, maybe turn 3 Urza, and then Leyline Binding on the cheap is decent. Plus crop rotation to threaten strip mine action is pretty nice. So this hand could use, in that case, Crucible of Worlds, I suppose, would be ideal. Okay, Arid Mesa is nice too. Let's go Noble. Okay, no answer to Noble, please. Talisman, sure. Okay, well, we don't need an upkeep stop. Don't think I need to fetch here. I can just play Oko. +2 to make a food. Pass the turn. And then now Oko food plus Urza is kind of a nice little combo. Makes you a bunch of mana. If this is starting with like a brainstorm, I'm not unhappy. Yeah, Do your thing. So, assuming they don't play anything too crazy, my next turn play is probably Urza, and then make the food token into an elk, play Urza. If I draw Crucible, is there anything I could draw, or Retrofitter? I might just make a second food because I can use the mana on that. I guess if I draw Mox Diamond, that could be interesting, but no, I probably wouldn't. I guess if I draw Crucible, though, maybe I just go Crucible, Crop Rotate, Strip Mine. Though I wouldn't be able to play a land off Crucible in that case anyway. No, I guess I would. Yeah, there's no way. So actually, I wonder, maybe instead of playing the Plains, I should have played the Foothills in case I drew Crucible exactly. Okay. Robber of the Rich. All right. Let's see. What are you Robertoing? Prismatic Vista? Sure. Yeah, they can only cast it, so it doesn't help them. Yeah, we're probably just playing Urza this turn. Oh, Exploration? Sure. It's kind of free then, I guess. Land. Steam Vents. Forest, I guess. I don't need to get Temple Garden here, I don't think. I mean, famous last words, but I don't really want to spend a bunch of life if I don't need to. Urza. And make an elk. So my construct's now a 1/1. Yeah, I'm gonna smash. If my opponent kills my Urza, they get a Robber of the Rich attack off. That's fine. I'm not giving up 4 damage here. That could definitely matter. All right, now Crucible, Red and 6, Loam are all awesome. Any of my expensive cards is good. Like Titania, Omnath, Oracle, Retrofitter would be great. Yeah, I got a lot of good cards I could draw from this position. I have like my stuff set up nicely. And opponent deciding whether to crack the Tarn, because they did Brainstorm. But it usually means you do want to crack the Tarn. Your worst 2 cards being a better than a random card off the top of your deck is a good position to be in. All right, so they did crack that. At this point, they should probably just get non-basics. The thing about playing around Wasteland is like, unless you're gonna fully play around it, like having Blackcleave Cliffs means just get Xander's Lounge, because if you get an island there, it's not, and I Wasteland that, and then you can't cast your spells because you don't have red or black. It's so much worse than just getting Xander's Lounge. Maybe I waste that, but anyways, we'll see what they have. I have a 1-mana Leyline Binding to kill anything they play. I'm hoping they don't answer Urza or Oko and just play a permanent of their own, but I don't know how likely that is. Custody Lich? Oh. Okay. Sure. I guess I do want to become the Monarch. How might one go about becoming the Monarch here? Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll sack the Construct. I think that's the weakest card. So I can become the Monarch by making Noble into an elk and attacking. Let's see what we draw. Oh, okay. So let's go. We're gonna play Parallax Wave. Let's go Parallax Wave. Hopefully this doesn't get countered. Force of negation would be annoying. I'm probably going to crop rotation strip mine this turn, because I know my opponent's got Inferno Titan in their deck. I don't really want to see that thing hit the board. Let's go Parallax Wave on. It's actually kind of interesting. Parallax Wave Custody Lich or Robber. You know what? I'm actually going to Parallax Wave both here. And cast Crop Rotation, sacking Forest. Get Strip Mine. Strip Mine Xander's Lounge. Make a token. Attack for 4. Take the Monarch. Oh, there's a Crucible. Okay. This puts opponent down to 4 lands, and then now with Exploration Crucible, next turn I can just double strip here. And then I think I can end the game before this Parallax Wave comes back. The other thing is, if I'm making enough elk with Oko, the fact that I have to re-sacrifice with Custodial Lich just doesn't matter that much. Petty Theft, bouncing Parallax Wave. Let's flicker Urza. And I guess flicker Noble. Okay. Not so bad. I mean, I get a token again. And they become the Monarch. And I guess I sacrifice... What do I sacrifice here? The thing is, Noble can help cast Parallax Wave, but so can Crucible. I could just sack the food token, like the elk food token. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. If they don't have a land this turn, it's going to be tough. Oh, you probably can't counter the Parallax Wave now, is my guess. You're probably not going to attack either. Oh, you're attacking with Robber of the Rich. Okay, you get to rob me. You hit a Life from the Loam. Sure. That doesn't really bother me. And do I want to block with Urza? I actually think I'm going to take it here. Urza is pretty important to my plans, and part of this attack might be to try to burn Urza down after getting some Robber of the Rich damage in. Oh, there's attacking Oko? Oh, sure. I don't care. Oko can take 2. I forgot that this triggers whenever it attacks, not just when it attacks a player. Yeah, you can attack my Oko. Okay, so next turn, let's see what I can do. Are they going to loan back Xander's Lounge? I don't really care about that, because with Crucible Exploration, it's not really going to bother me. Are they going to abrade the token? Yeah, that's why I didn't block with Urza. Okay, draw. So, how much do I care about becoming the Monarch? I mean, I guess I would like to become the Monarch. Oh, I can become the Monarch easily. All right, let's go. Crucible of Worlds. Tap this. Yeah, that's probably fine. Strip Mine. Strip Mine Blackleaf Cliffs. Strip Mine. Strip Mine Island. Leyline Binding. The Custodial Lich. Make food token into a 3/3. Attack for 4 and leave back Urza. And now this is going to be pretty hard for them to come back here. I don't quite have the ability to also Oko their Talisman. I'm not quite that far ahead, but think we're in good shape. Black Lotus. Okay. And then you get a robber attack to. I don't know what you can flip though. I don't have that many good things you could cast. Wasteland, yeah. The thing is, even if the Black Lotus leads to like an Inferno Titan, I don't think it's that bad. Okay. Oh, am I getting Fallen Shinobi'd? All right. Yeah, I guess I should have blocked that. I didn't really want to get my Urza Inferno Titan, but sure, you become the Monarch. Oh, I guess with the Monarchy, I should have done that. They hit Mountain and Reprieve. All right. Yeah, not blocking there didn't really make sense, but we're just fine here. In fact, I think we just have lethal on the board. I'm going to get to strip mine 2 lands, make my noble into a creature, and then bash. Robber, reprieve it. I don't really know what you're hoping to draw there, but that ain't it. I even have Parallax Wave if I need to. I'm just going to play land, Parallax Wave. Oko, my noble. Attack for 6 here, and boom, 2-0. Should have made a little block there differently, but the deck did the thing I was hoping it to do, and now we're 1-1. Or, sorry, not 2-0, 1-1. And then we're going to go to round 3, see how that goes. All right, round 3. I got to win this for us to try to win the draft. Playing against like an Esper-ish deck. Let me see if is this hand good enough. I'm curious my teammates who've played against them. Let me see. What do they have? I'm just trying to look at some of the cards they've played. Yeah, I don't know. Mono artifacts and upheaval. Yeah, no. All right, we'll mulligan that. This hand is a lot better. So what do I put back? I'm not going to put back Knight of Autumn. I'm not going to put back any of these 5 cards. I think I put back Parallax Wave. I don't know. It's close between the 4 and the 5 drop. I'm not playing against a creature deck, so Parallax Wave is a little worse. Turn 1 Relic. All right, can I get a Birds so I can get this turn 2 Knight of Autumn action? No. I'm going to bobble myself and see if I want to keep the top card. The Mox would also be really nice here. Knight of the Reliquary. I do not want that. So let's shuffle. I think I just get Forest here. Play Sensei's Top and pass. Turn 1 Coalition Relic, huh? That's scary. We need to find that Mox Diamond quickly. Oh, good, a mountain. I'm going to just draw for my turn, because if I draw a Mox Diamond, I want to be able to play it. Yikes, what is this? Turn 2 Wormcoil. All right. I mean, Solitude's pretty good. Gets that Wormcoil out of here. I don't really want to pitch the Knight of Autumn, but I guess I don't have a choice. Oh, I could pitch Reprieve instead. So let's do that. Let's draw. Play this tapped. Exile Reprieve. Because I really want to kill that that Coalition Relic here. And next turn, I just go land, Knight. Oh man, we're tapping Workshop again? Oh. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, all right. I'm just getting outclassed here. Like when you use Workshop every turn, the first 3 turns, it's like you have a Black Lotus that just stays in play. Like, yeah, I'm not going to beat that. Knight of Autumn. All right, destroy a Coalition Relic. All right, Martel's 2-0. Nice, nice. I'm about to be 1-2 if I don't shape up here. Okay, 2 cards in hand. Just tapping Workshop again. Yeah. Stop. He's already dead. Dynamo, draw. And spend 5 more mana. Time warp. All right. That's enough for me. Mono artifacts. Definitely want Nissa. I think the Solitude and the Leyline Binding is okay. I might want to cut Retrofitter Foundry. It's just not that good when your opponent's just going really hard. Is Thrawn any good? Doesn't sound amazing to me. I think Urza is still good enough, but yeah, we'll cut Retrofitter. Basically, when you play Mishra's Workshop and tap it for 3, the next turn tap it for 3, the next turn tap it for 3, the next turn tap it for 3, is not going to be close. What I would like to find is a Wasteland or a Strip Mine. Those are good cards. Playing against Upheaval, it makes me actually not want Leyline Binding as much. Leyline Binding's so bad against Upheaval. Maybe I do want Retrofitter. Maybe I want Crater Hoof. No, I'll play Retrofitter instead. Don't think I want Titania. Or Tameo, rather. -3, return target card. Problem is, most of my cards don't go to the graveyard, really. Okay. On the play here. Oh, this is so close. Another land and I had turn 1 Caryatid, but this hand is just a mulligan. Okay. This is a fine hand. I'm going to keep this and I'm actually going to put Ye Old Retrofitter away. Let's play Ragran Triumph, pass the turn. Turn 2, I can play and activate Top, which can hopefully get me to a 3rd land here. Okay, not a crazy opener. Ooh. Or I just do that. Ren and 6. Let's get Forest. Dub 6. Yes. All right. Now I just need to find Strip Mine, and we are good to go. Talisman. Yeah, I'm going to blow that up. Okay, not a Strip Mine, but let's just get another Forest here. Knight of Autumn. Destroy target artifact and get back Prismatic Vista. All right, now we're looking pretty good. Just need to find Strip Mine. That would go a long way. Another Talisman, sure. Sensei's Top's going to be nice too. Oh, speak of the Cheon. All right, Strip Mine, kill your island, get back Strip Mine. Play Sensei's Top. I think that's better to play Top than Crucible. I don't really need Crucible when I have Ren and 6. This, not too interested in that. So the question is, do I take a turn off of using Strip Mine to play Urza? I guess we'll see what my opponent does here. If they miss a land drop, I'm definitely just going straight for Strip Mine. Yeah. Well, they played a land. But if they don't, 5 mana, yeah, you know what? I only have the 1 island, so I guess I'm going to play Urza here. Hope I don't get countered. Because now I can spin Top as well. +1. Attack with this. It gives access. The thing is, this gives my opponent access to 1 extra mana, which obviously that could be dangerous, but if I'm just locked into strip mining every turn, this way I can make a lot of progress. Wrath of God? All right. Spin the top here. Okay. Draw. So it's kind of the same thing. 6 mana this time. So I could play Titania. I think this time I'm going to spin the top. Look for Exploration would be the best card. Oh, okay. There we go. All right, so now I go strip mine your island. +1 on strip mine. Draw. And play Oko. +2. I could Oko the Talisman. It's not crazy to do that, but I don't think I need to do that. I'll let my opponent get to 5 mana here. They better have something pretty good on 5. I guess they can play like a Teferi maybe. Urza Lord Protector. That's the one if you have... Makes your things cheaper, which is good, and you need the Might Stone. I could ult Ren in 6, though that doesn't really do anything. Okay, so I actually think I'm going to exchange control there. That actually looks pretty good. Then I play the top for free. I could spin the top here. I think that's pretty reasonable. Again, Exploration would be really, really good here. Knight of the Reliquary, that also works. All right, I keep drawing plays that make it so it makes sense to continue strip mining. Draw, Knight of the Reliquary. And then now we can really turn the thumb screws, though I think we're actually fine here. Okay, Thran Dynamo. That one I might end up Okoing into an Elk. I'm actually pretty sure I'm going to. Okay, Oko your Dynamo. And then now, let's go play strip mine your island. Tap this, sack this. Let's get Wasteland, then play Titania, which gets back strip mine. Yoink. And then now strip mine your plains and go into game 3. All right. Yeah, you know what? Maybe Leyline Binding is actually fine. Retrofitter seems too slow. Look, it's bad against Upheaval, but getting to exile Thran Dynamo or something can keep my opponent off Upheaval, and I think I should be pretty good at preventing that. As many ways as I can to blow up artifacts seems like it's kind of what I want. So, all right, game 3 time. Exploration Mox time, and let's go. No, but this hand is definitely good. If I draw Mox or Exploration, this hand completely pops off. Opponent's mulliganing. And even if I don't, if I can play Sylvan Caryatid on 2, that would be really nice. All right. Let's go bobble myself. Okay, I don't really want that. So let's play Arid Mesa. And I think we just get Raugrin Triome here. Draw. Loam. Loam, not really what I'm looking for either. Okay, the usual talisman, I would imagine. Oh, geez, a Grim Monolith. Well, into Basalt Monolith. Into Crystalline Golem. Okay. Trample. Not so bad. Well, I guess I'm going to play Sylvan Caryatid. Playing turn 2 Crystalline Giant's actually not that scary. I mean, if it gets hexproof this turn, it's going to be rough. But if not, I can Knight of Autumn it, which would be nice. Hexproof? All right, sure. All right. Yeah. Let's go Wasteland, Knight of Autumn. Destroy Basalt Monolith, because that's going to get untapped in a second here. Okay. I still think I can beat that, but now if it gets flying, it's going to be kind of tough. Okay, probably going to get lifelink and flying. No, Vigilance. All right, Vigilance I can deal with. Draw. Exploration would have been good earlier. It's not really ideal now. I'm going to go Titania here. Okay, get Arid Mesa. And I don't need to play Exploration this instant. I don't really want to pay 2 life to do it. All right, they get to untap Grim Monolith, which I don't love, but I don't think it was worth playing Nissa minusing it on the Monolith here. Okay. Come on, Crystalline Giant. Don't get flying. First strike would be doable because I could double block with Titania. What else does it have that I care about? I don't care about anything else besides flying. Sure, Talisman. Okay. Teferi, sure. That actually isn't that big of a deal. Oh, you're going to minus? Well, I'm going to respond. Make a 5/3. I want more green sources, so I'm just going to get a tapped Temple Garden here. Putting Titania back doesn't... Flying? Are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me. All right. Yeah. So I can Ren in 6. I guess I have to race here. How am I best equipped to do that? I do want to kill Teferi, but if I kill Teferi, I'm not playing Nissa this turn, I guess. Finding Omnath could be nice. I mean, he's not going to block the elemental going at Teferi if that's what I choose to do. Yeah, I think that's what I choose to do, and I think I'm going to pay 2 life for Nissa. There's clearly just no blocks here. Okay, Nissa. Go to 7. Make a giant thing. I can't believe I'm going to lose to the Crystalline Giant. Probably get lifelink. Oh, it got a +1/+1 counter? This is unbelievable. Now I'm just dead. It just got the perfect thing every single turn. That's it. You got to be kidding me. If it didn't get the counter, if it didn't get hexproof, it didn't get flying. It got flying, hexproof, then it got trample vigilance. Or sorry, it got hexproof, then trample vigilance, then flying, and then the counter. It had death touch, menace, lifelink, reach, trample that could also have hit. Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah, sure. What a card. What a card. All right, well, I did pop back in and say that we, in fact, did lose the draft. That Crystalline Giant is going to get me. It's going to haunt my dreams. I still like this deck. It did, have the propensity to have kind of awkward draws. Mox Diamond does introduce some amount of that, and I was trying pretty hard to combo this strip mine, but cards like exploration and crop rotation, if you don't have the corresponding pieces, can be a little awkward. That said, I think this deck was good, and I feel like we ran a little below expectation to go 1-2, had some close games. Still think I would have beaten the Crystalline Giant like if it rolled even a little differently, but at the end of the day, that is Magic for you, and you can't win them all. I've demonstrated that beyond shadow of a doubt. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another awesome draft. Maybe next time we'll really draft the lands deck. I have loved this archetype. I will draft it again, this result notwithstanding. I'll see you next time. I appreciate you hanging out, and check back in tomorrow for another sweet draft.